Welcome to Trial by Wine. We take a closer look at crimes that highlight how fascinating humans can be. Schmidty, Swanee and Clarkey visit crimes and run them through their jury of three, debating both sides of the case to agree an appropriate, if totally fictitious, sentence. Please be advised, Trial by Wine may include explicit or disturbing content and will include drunken rambling. Listener discretion is advised. All right, how are we?
Not too bad.
Very good. I've got to tell you about a meme I saw on Facebook today. It said, I wonder if short people start their stories by saying, when I was little, or whether they say, as I am today.
Well, that was a good story. Thanks, Clarkey. Has anyone got any news?
Yes. We went and saw Cyndi Lauper on the weekend.
Oh, how was she?
71 years old, still got it. Can belt out a tune.
Girls still want to have fun?
Girls
they
do still want to have fun in, what's that artist that does polka dots? So the Girls Just Want to Have Fun was the last song she did, and they were all in white but with red polka dots on them.
It's on at NGV at the moment.
She's in Victoria at the moment. Yeah, she's going to Canberra or Brisbane or something next. But
the artist?
The artist,
I know exactly who that is. Can't remember her name, but she does stuff with Louis Vuitton. Yeah. Very famous.
So
got the blunt bob. Yeah. I thought you meant like a singing artist because of.
No, sorry. No. So she did. Yeah. She took some inspiration from artists in the costumes that she wore, and that one.
Oh wow!
Was how she did. Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
Yayoi Kusama.
Yeah, that's her.
That's probably not how it's said, but anyway.
Correct. But I knew it was YK. That was about all I could get. Yeah. So I'm going to go
She's definitely the spots.
And so you loved it, I'm guessing.
Loved it. Yeah. Backed up by the Veronicas or supported by the Veronicas. They were great too. God, they can sing. Yeah.
And
anyway,
Swanee?
That's our news.
No, I don't really have any news. It's just I've been sick. I lost my voice entirely. I'm on the way back. And it's the last week of term, so it's been a very long term. It's like 11 weeks or something.
School holidays, your favourite.
Oh, I can hardly wait.
Do you want to cut to your co-host to see if your co-host has got any inspiration for stories?
Arthur is looking very tired.
I know.
It's a hard no
he
from
gets
Arthur,
very excited
because
when I came in from Bridge, I was saying to him, because I did tell him this morning, of course, I've got Bridge, I'll be in and out all day, and then we've got podcasting later. Anyway, then I came inside just before, and I was like, do you want to go outside? He was like, no. He was ready to come up here. So when I came, he was ready waiting on the bed. And then Sevi walked in and said, something about your co-host. I was like, oh, that's such a cute name. He's definitely a co-host.
He's your silent co-host, but apart from the odd in the middle of something.
Except when something happens outside.
Yeah.
Oh, he's turned away. How rude.
I know, I saw that. I felt I was watching him and I felt he felt the weight of my glare on him and he just turned away. And I was like, okay. Rude.
What about you, Schmidty?
I suppose my news all pertains to my story, so I'll just do it all at once when I start the story. I suppose we should introduce ourselves. I'm Schmidty.
I'm Swanee.
And I'm Clarkey. And together we are
Trial
by Wine.
And what are we drinking?
I've gone hard.
Diet Coke.
Diet Coke. I was happy that there was any left, seeing as I've emptied people's bedroom bins of it. But yes, there was one. There was one left for me, so I thought I need a Diet Coke today.
Said it before. You need to have your own little fridge in that room, and you need to put a lock on it.
Yeah.
Get a wine fridge
in your recording studio.
Oh, I think I did have that at one point. That's exactly what I did have, pretty much. Anyway, what are you guys drinking?
We're having a 2021 Tempranillo from Feathertop. Which is very nice.
Very nice, very nice. I'm drinking a 2023 Shiraz from Heathcote, the HQ.
Oh, yeah, your fave.
I suppose we're on the reds because it's a bit chillier now. We're moving it into autumn.
Really?
Chilly AF.
Yes. Yeah. I swing between being a bit depressed with summer being over and then thinking, no, it's the cooler months and we can be all cozy and
this is still a good part when it's cold. Like you enjoy the cold at this stage. Give it another few weeks, and we'll be
hanging on it.
Over it. Yeah.
Yep.
How cool is it?
We've got down to 5.
Oh, that's a bit rude. It's quite nice here at this time of the year. Actually, it's sort of just a bit gentler on you because Perth can be pretty intense, as you will recall. So it's a nice time. A bit calmer.
Lovely.
Yes.
Okay. I suppose I'll tell us a story then.
Please do.
Why not?
You look excited about this one. You
She does, doesn't she?
There's a
No,
little
I'm not
look. You've got this look on your face, which is like,
Yeah.
I think you like it.
Yeah.
We'll see.
She's loving herself
it's
sick,
not-
I think that look is.
It's not a long.
You hide your humidity so well.
No. It's a throwing together of stuff, but I kind of enjoyed the inspiration of it, which I'm going to talk about now. So
Good.
it's fair to say I'm still recovering from the wedding I went to on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Was that a
Do
theatre
we know
one?
whose?
It was. It
Remember,
was Olivia and Phil
Yep.
from theatre.
Yes.
It was a fantastic event. There were 100 well-wishers gathered at Reedsdale to wish the bride and groom all the love and happiness in their future. So for you, Swanee, that is about 20 minutes away from Kyneton.
We went
so
to a
it's
wedding in
Kyneton Place,
Reedsdale.
Yeah.
So it was
Not on
at
the
one of
weekend,
the
though.
other theatre guys' houses or properties.
Is it
more
just
to the
another
point.
town? Like Reedsdale?
Yeah, it's a
okay.
very small little town.
Yep.
And one of the guys from the theatre company has a nice little property there, and so he very kindly let them use his space.
Yes.
And so it was all, tents and outdoors.
Nice. So country style wedding.
It was very country style wedding.
Got
I
it.
had the camper trailer up and, it was very amusing. So it was an eclectic group of people with family from Yarram, which is down Gippsland Way, friends from Eden, the theatre contingent, as well as family and work friends who all came together and partied till the wee and freezing cold hours of the morning. Yeah,
And then did you just have to stumble into your camper?
I did. And unfortunately, we weren't close enough to power. So my camper was not warm. It was absolutely icy.
But you would have been pretty warm.
I was
merry.
pretty drunk at the time, but I had prepared for the cold by having fleece-lined leggings on. And
God, that
I must
cold.
admit, it got to a point like about midnight or maybe 12:30. I actually went to the camper to get my coat. It
Yeah.
was that cold. And I came back, and then about 1:30, which was actually 12:30 because the clocks all went back, but I was like, I think we can call it now. There were like 5 of us left, and we've been partying. It started at 2 in the afternoon. So we've been at it for 11 and a half hours.
You drunk yourself sober.
Oh, no, I wasn't
Oh, no.
sober. Oh, no, I wasn't.
Oh, no, matron.
Oh, no, matron. But yeah. So as I say, like your wedding, boys, it was a country affair with a neighbouring paddock full of trailers, caravans and tents,
Oh, nice.
Brilliant.
including my own camper trailer, the Taj Mahal. The highlight for me was this rather petite blonde woman who went around chomping the tops off these foam glow sticks that some other lady had brought, which was quite funny. So she kept biting the ends of it. And I saw it a few times. I didn't think too much about it. And then, however, when Teenage Dirtbag came on the dance floor, she flew into the space, misjudged the width of a supporting pole, and fully stacked it on the dusty floor, much to the bemusement of onlookers. Now, she did go down like a ton of bricks, but she did get up and start partying again in no time. So no drunk ladies were harmed in the making of the wedding.
Brilliant.
And in fairness, I did think to myself when it happened, I thought, well, it was going to be me or her. It was going to be one of us. And I'd already been doing a bit of the old, when I say pole, it was a post. Like it's a, what do you call it? Untreated pine post.
Ouch.
Oh, yeah.
And I was doing, lots of sort of suggestive pole dancing around it. My inner thighs are still hurting.
What a
2 or 3
workout.
days later.
What a workout.
It was, yes. So in honour of the newly married Liv and Phil, I'm dedicating today's episode to their nuptials. I have curated a series of crimes from around the globe, all involving wedding crimes.
Great.
Oh, what a fabulous topic.
The first comes from USA Today. The perp in this story impressed me by how far she was prepared to go to commit her heinous crimes. And there are a lot of articles about this individual, but I just went with this one. So the heading is, she mapped out weddings in 3 states. And Swanee, it was really giving me, what's his name? You did him recently, the serial killer. Oh,
You're
so
asking the
annoying.
wrong person.
Israel Keys. It was giving Israel Keys vibes, only it wasn't about burying kill bags and showing up and just killing people randomly. But it was her planning that got me. Yeah. So she mapped out weddings in 3 states, crashed them, stole thousands in cash, and is free again. Well, is she? We'll get to that. Whether it's during their first slow dance or when they're running under the sparklers towards a getaway car, While all eyes are on the bride and groom, she goes to work.
Oh.
From table to table, the 57-year-old uninvited guest slips her hands into people's purses, snatching cash and credit cards from unsuspecting wedding attendees.
What a mole.
Yeah, in a string of heists spanning at least 3 southern states over at least 6 years, authorities say Mississippi resident Sandra Lynn Henson, Sandra Lynn, crashed weddings, making off with tens of thousands of dollars worth of gifts and property.
It would be quite
Wow.
a good gig, wouldn't it, if you think about it?
Mm.
Well,
Because people
I
are
will
just not
tell you,
in
there
that
are
kind
a lot
mode.
of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wedding crasher stories. Most of these stories are wedding crashes.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm.
You know, if you're not thinking on that wavelength, you're not thinking on that wavelength.
Well, it's funny you should say that because I wasn't thinking on that wavelength,
Yeah.
but I had all my valuables in the car
Yeah.
next to the camper trailer, and I locked them all in the car, and then I hid the key in
Yes.
the camper trailer.
Yep.
And I thought, I feel really awful because, we're in the middle of nowhere. It's
Yes.
a paddock. Everyone here is a guest. But just in case.
But
you
that's the
never
nice
know.
bit that you will know from this story. It doesn't have to be the guest.
It's
It can
not
be
the
the
guest.
interlopers that come
And
and do
I
naughty
wouldn't know who
business.
the interlopers are.
No,
Like,
that's
it's
what
only
they
the
play
bride
on,
and
right?
groom are likely to
Correct,
know
yeah.
who it is. Yeah. So despite being on probation following a prison sentence in Mississippi for some of her crimes, law enforcement said Henson recently struck again with the same modus operandi in her home state. This week, and this is a while back, Henson appeared in Pontotoc County Justice Court in rural northeast Mississippi on misdemeanor charges of petite larceny, trespassing. It says it.
larceny.
Well, it says
Petty.
pettit.
It's-
It says pettit, but I think it's petty larceny. I would have thought petty larceny would be spelt Petty. Why did I
Yeah.
think that? I don't know. Mississippi's got some Creole, hasn't it? Bit of French.
Yep.
Does it?
Yep.
I think so.
Definitely.
I know New Orleans
New
does.
Orleans does. Was that
Yeah.
Louisiana? I don't know. Quite possibly. I don't know the answer.
Maybe it's a spelling mistake, or it's a
It's
French
harking
influence.
back to a French one.
So sorry, misdemeanor charges of, let's say, petty larceny, trespassing and disturbing the peace after being arrested for crashing a wedding on the 30th of September. Henson pled guilty to the charges, was ordered to pay a $650 fine and ordered to reappear
It's
in
really not
court
much, is it?
It's not
No.
enough.
next year for an update on her case. After learning of her punishment, two of Henson's latest victims told USA Today they are baffled she's not back behind bars. It's unfair, said Lexi Butler, the 22-year-old bride whose wedding Henson pleaded guilty to crashing this fall. She has robbed so many people of precious time, memories, and gifts, but she never has to own up to her
No.
wrongdoing. I can't believe no one is taking this seriously. It's insane, said 34-year-old Kate Dora, who said Henson stole $200 in cash on her wedding night. She's been doing this for quite some time, and I don't think she has any intention to stop.
No, neither do I.
Tyler Melton, a sergeant with the Florence Police Department in Alabama, whose agency arrested Henson on theft charges in 2019 for allegedly crashing multiple weddings, balked at how a person who moves from jurisdiction to jurisdiction committing crimes continues to get hit with fines and probation. It's extremely frustrating, said Melton, who has been working with victims in a pending Alabama case. I'm surprised she hasn't caught a beat down from an angry bridesmaid because that's how it goes down here in the South. I'm sorry.
A
I'm surprised she hasn't caught a
bridezilla.
beat down from an angry bridesmaid because that's how it goes down here in the South.
It'd be good if it did.
So an hour south of home, according to Pontotoc County Sheriff's Department Office Police affidavit, Henson's latest heist took place about an hour south of her Wright's home in Lily Creek Farm, a wedding and event venue in Belden, a small unincorporated community in the Tupelo area. Henson, a short, stocky woman with salt and pepper hair, was
Ooh.
arrested after suspicious wedding attendees discovered she stole hundreds of dollars from the wedding planner. A police affidavit signed by Officer Austin Mask shows she was booked into the jail that night and less than 2 days later, on the 2nd of October, posted a $2,000 bond, probably with money that she stole. Following her court hearing this week, Henson walked out of the courthouse clutching at paperwork after Judge David Hall accepted her guilty plea in the case. Henson, who appeared in court without an attorney on Wednesday, could not immediately be reached, and a number listed for her went straight to voicemail. not surprising. Miss Henson has been arrested in Alabama, Tennessee, and Mississippi for crashing weddings and stealing money and cards from purses, the Pontotoc County Sheriff's Office posted on the department's Facebook page next to her mugshot after announcing her arrest. Still, she remained free Friday. Now, remember I was talking about Kate Durra earlier?
Yes.
Kate Durra of Guntown, Mississippi.
Wow. That's right. You heard it.
Yep, you heard it here. Was at Butler's wedding coordinating a celebratory event when Henson snuck in and quietly crashed the party. The uninvited guest wore a navy and white dress with a cardigan over the top and carried a phone. She was dressed the part like she was there for a wedding. Well, she was, Durra recalled. During the reception, when the bride and her new husband, Brady Butler, made their way outside where everyone stood holding sparklers, Henson went to work. Almost everyone went outside to the front of the building, but I was inside trying to catch my breath, Durra recalled. But when she and the sister of the bride, Bethany Clark, made their way to the bridal room, they found Henson inside milling around.
Fossicking about, I bet.
Milling. She had a plate with some cake in her hand and was slowly eating it, Durra said.
Is that the thing she stole, or was it more serious than that?
This is quite good, this one.
That was the cover.
When the bride's sister asked who the stranger was at the wedding for, Henson allegedly responded, the bride. Suspicious, the bride's sister asked Henson who she was at the wedding with. She gave some random name and said the person had already left, Durra recalled. That's when I remembered. Someone said they were missing a makeup bag, and it kind of put her on my radar. I went into my purse and I said, I have money missing. The sister's bride told Durra she had 30 seconds to give it back before the law arrived, Durra
She's
recalled.
there quick.
Yep.
Yeah.
She reached right in her bra and pulled it out. Ooh, yeah, pulled what out? Hopefully the cash, not a tip. Clark ran for her brother-in-law. How's this for Henson? Like bad luck. Clark ran for her brother-in-law, a police officer with the city of Tupelo, who happened to be at the wedding, and he contacted the sheriff's office.
That's
when the
why
bride
the law was going to be there in 30 seconds.
They're going to be here in 30 seconds. Yeah. The law already arrived.
Yeah, I was thinking that can't possibly happen, but she was good.
She was right.
She goddamn knew.
She did. When the bride later learned about the incident, I apologise to everyone from the southern states of America for our terrible accents, but hey-ho. Learned about the incident, she said, well, you know, I listened to some podcasts that come from America and they try to do it in an Australian accent, and it is appalling. Oh, it's Cockney. They always sound Cockney. All right, geezer. I'm like, what's that?
Australia is hard. Everyone struggles.
It is very difficult.
It is the most difficult.
I find it the most easy.
I think it's the one that undoes most actors and actresses if they try and do Australia.
Even the greatest actress of all time couldn't quite get it.
Dingo's got my baby.
Dingo's got my baby. That's right. Yes.
Poor Meryl.
Poor Meryl, yes. Okay, so when the bride later learned about the incident, she said her first thought was the stranger crashed her wedding because they were hungry or needed money.
Needed the cake.
She's a real Southern belle, this one. I remember telling my sister if she would come speak to me, I would let her stay and dance with us, Butler recalled.
Wow. I can't imagine there'd be many people who'd be doing that.
No one shares that.
The crash, Durra, who's not giving up on this one, was premeditated. She had a notebook in her car on the seat with a list of names, Durra recalled, after she and some other people peeked into the window of Henson's car after her arrest.
I'm sure they peeked, yeah.
Yeah, a notebook of places where she'd already been to, aside from 2 or 3 that had not happened yet. Dates, times, venues, even names of the bride and groom. Some of the addresses, Durra recalled, were for venues as far away as Oxford, which is quite a long way. Just kidding. And South Haven, a city near the Tennessee state line, nearly 2 hours from where Henson lives. Durra said they believe she got the details online on the Not website. And I am reading this one cold, but I was thinking about it earlier going, it must be when people announce, in the olden days, they'd announce their wedding, they announce their bands. Yeah. Because I'm like, how would you know about all these weddings? Yeah. That's how.
Oh, no, totally. What's that crime that I did recently where someone, the Liberation Army, where were they from? Pattyhurst, that's it. From her Symbionese Liberation Army. Yeah, that was from the engagement announcement that they found that they were able to locate her and she was a target for their kidnapping, yeah.
Absolutely right. And that was in 74 or something, or early 70s.
Same but different. When I was a young girl and I did ballet, my name used to be in the paper quite a lot, and my mum used to talk about there would be a sharp upturn in dirty phone calls that they would get at the house of gross men calling when my name, and it would say Carla Swan, the suburb that I lived in, like when I would place.
That's
but there'd be lots of people's names, and it was a real thing. My mum said, each in Wollongong we had this Stedford, there'd be like a thing of people calling, and I'd be like racing for the phone, hoping to like catch somebody out. Mum,
you're weird. Yeah.
Well, I didn't really understand. I was so young. I thought it was funny.
No, I know. I couldn't believe she chose our wedding as her next hit, Butler said, adding she was even more baffled when she learned
She
about
wasn't
Henson's
flattered?
criminal history. No, she wasn't.
I would be flattered.
So Henson, I don't know how I'd feel about it, to be honest.
Oh, there's something decent to take. Come and have a look. See what we've got.
Yeah, true. Henson was convicted of stealing from a wedding in 2017 after being caught in the act on video at the event. What a fool. The local ABC 24 in Memphis reported. She was placed on probation, the outlet reported, but continued to crash and steal. 2 years later, in June 2019, she was again accused of crashing wedding receptions, this time in northwest Alabama, where Lauderdale County prosecutors charged her with 2 counts of theft, 1 misdemeanor and 1 felony. According to an arrest affidavit filed by Florence Police Sergeant Josh Hine, Henson was caught on church video walking into a wedding reception where she allegedly stole more than $500 in cash and gift cards from the gift table. That same day, Hine wrote in the affidavit she crashed another wedding and stole $350 in cash from the newlyweds' gift table. When questioned by police, the affidavit said she admitted to attending 3 other weddings in the city the same day and taking cards left on gift tables. She's not actually staying for the first dance or anything, is she? She's just in, grab, out.
She's missing the best part. If she's not
She
there for the
is. She's
reception.
You've got to get
the
there for the
free
end when
booze.
everyone's drunk and they're falling
Yeah.
over. They're trying to grab onto the
Yes.
post in the carport because that's where we were. Anyway, Melton said one of the newlywed couples in those cases told him they did not plan on using their monetary gifts for themselves. Oh, it's even worse.
Oh, were they going to donate them or something, do you think?
The bride said she let her
Well,
guests
they
know any
did.
cash they got was going towards a special needs child. It's almost as bad as going to a funeral and stealing from people. Well, not really. I mean, she didn't know that all the money was going to go to a special needs child.
She didn't
Shortly
care where
after,
the money was going to go because she's a
it's
mole.
going to her. She is the special needs child.
Yeah,
Yeah.
clearly.
Shortly after, Melton said more than a dozen people from across the state, as well as Tennessee and Mississippi, contacted Florence Police Station saying that they had also seen her at their wedding stealing cash from tables and purses. There are probably couples out there who don't even know they got gifts, Dora said. In June 2021, a Marshall County, Mississippi judge convicted Henson of grand larceny and burglary and sentenced her to a year in prison. After court records show a judge in Tennessee revoked her probation also for crashing weddings. She's addicted. In court, Henson pleaded for leniency due to health problems. Memphis area ABC 24 TV reported at the time, but the judge said if Henson was healthy enough to go to a wedding and steal, she was healthy enough to go to prison.
Yep.
Yep.
Henson's
Agreed.
most recent victims told USA Today they remain concerned Henson will strike again as she has never truly paid for the hurt she has caused so many. She was out on probation when she hit my wedding, so the mess up should have sent her right back to prison, Butler said. Yet here she is with another small fine, which is why she continues to do it. If she is never going to get in trouble, I don't see why she would feel the need to stop. Henson, once again on probation, is slated to appear, now remember this is an early article around 2021, in court on May 8th for her latest theft case. If she fails to appear or pay a fine, the county court clerk confirmed a warrant will be issued for her arrest. As for her pending Alabama cases, Melton said if Henson is convicted there, he hopes the judge handling her case is not as lenient. She needs to get time. She needs to sit. Obviously, this punishment isn't fixing the behavior, Melton said.
Brilliant.
Now, as I said, that article was written before February the 15th, 2024, and I know this because having read a follow-up from Supertalk FM, Sandra Lynn Hansen, the Mid-South wedding crasher, died on the 8th of February in her hometown of Renzi. She was terribly unwell. She was receiving dialysis at the time and had multiple heart attacks. So time is something she didn't get in the long run.
Oh.
I mean, karma's a bitch.
I wonder if she was stealing the money because she was on dialysis.
Yeah.
I don't care about that.
enough.
Irrelevant.
It don't
Yeah,
make
no.
it right.
Irrelevant, Your Honour.
Irrelevant,
Okay.
you're on 100%. I don't give two
Two
shits.
wrongs don't make a right. That's right. Okay. So this next one's quite dark.
Oh.
So buckle up.
Brace.
So turn off the light or turn on the
Brace.
lights?
Brace.
Hang
Turn
on,
on the
Pino's
What's that
lights.
cleaned her
noise?
bowl.
Oh,
Probably
I was
me
going to say, what's that?
shuffling in the chair.
Enough, Pino. On your bed, please. Good girl.
Oh, well done, Pino. She listens nicely.
Doing my dishes.
She hasn't
Oh.
done it though.
I heard a shape.
Oh, hey, it's
Oh,
Pino.
hi, Pino.
Hey, Pino.
Oh, hi everyone. I
don't
just
see
thought I'd join in for a
screens.
little bit. I'm finding it really hard to stay upright.
She's very cute.
Oh.
All the doggy co-hosts. Okay, from edition at CNN.com comes. 2 wedding crashers are accused of killing a groom
Oh.
outside his own reception.
What?
It took a turn.
I told you
Did,
it was
didn't
dark.
it? I didn't expect
Two
that.
brothers. 2 brothers have been charged with murder for allegedly killing a groom outside his own wedding reception, according to police in Chino, California. Ronnie Aristides Castaneda Ramirez,
Nailed
28,
it.
and
That really
Jose
came off the tongue
Daniel
quickly.
Castaneda Ramirez, 19,
You
are
part
accused
Spanish.
of killing Joseph Melgoza and assaulting 2 men on Sunday, according to police. In a news release, police said Melgoza suffered blunt force trauma to the head, but neither the news release nor the complaint from the San Bernardino County District Attorney's Office specifies whether a weapon was used. It was used. The complaint says the other men, Jose Mancera and Juan Bustamante, were attacked with baseball bats.
You came good on that one.
Yeah, that was well done.
The Ramirez brothers are each charged with murder and 2 counts of assault with a deadly weapon. They were scheduled to have their first court hearing Tuesday afternoon.
I feel like
CNN
you
has
should have said the Ramirez brothers, not their real name, because it's so stereotypical.
Well, not to be confused with the other Ramirez
Yeah,
brothers who killed their
that's right.
father, but we haven't covered that one yet.
Yeah, we haven't.
And parents, actually, the mother as well. Yeah, haven't done that one yet. They were scheduled to have their first court hearing Tuesday afternoon. CNN has not been able to identify an attorney for the suspects to provide comment. On Saturday, hours before beating Melgoza, 30, had married Esther Bustamante. Melgoza's daughter Lily had served as their ring bearer during the ceremony. It was the happiest day of my life, she said. The weather was great for their wedding last Saturday. The temperature was in the mid-60s and there was only a few clouds in the sky. Everyone was so happy. Andy Velasquez, Melgoza's brother, told CNN, after the church, we went to the house for the reception. We ate, celebrated, cheered. Everything was perfect. Now, from photos I've seen of this, it was not quite the same as the wedding that I was on the weekend, but they have a marquee in that and the backyard. And so this next bit will make a bit more sense if you consider that the most of the reception's happening in the garden. Velasquez remembers seeing the Ramirez brothers at the reception. We didn't think much of it because there were so many people there we didn't know, he said. It was so late and the only people left were very close family, so I assumed someone knew them. Police say there is no known relationship between the brothers and the groom.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Velasquez says it was late when someone confronted the Ramirez brothers and they left the reception.
You're taking the piss now.
I'm not.
I like it.
After the party ended,
The Ramirez brothers.
the Ramirez brothers. I've got a friend who's a Ramirez, and that I'm sort of channeling that.
Well, you're doing a great job of channeling.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it very
Okay.
much.
After the party ended, they returned, saying one of them
Who did?
forgot his phone.
Who returned?
One of the Ramirez brothers returned because he'd forgotten his phone. That's what Velasquez tells us.
Oh.
A fight broke out in the back alley behind the house where the reception was being held. Authorities say the Ramirez brothers attacked Melgoza there. Family members tell CNN the attackers used baseball bats, which is really unnecessary. It was pitch black. Mm-hmm.
I'm struggling with the detail, and I know I'm going to ask you to tell me exactly what you just told me. But are they not? They've crashed the wedding, but they don't know anyone.
Crashes. Yeah.
And then they kill the groom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I thought there was going to be someone like they were hitmen or something.
No, I think what happened, right, was they crashed the wedding.
Who?
The Ramirez brothers crashed the wedding.
Check.
And then people sort of work out that they don't really belong and they leave.
Who?
The Ramirez brothers. One of them comes back in to get his phone, and then there must be some words had. And they go out and there's an alley at the back of the house. And so then what happens is that the family of the
Bride and groom.
well, the groom and some fellas
Yeah.
who are all like family of them, the groom, Melgoza, having just married Esther Bustamante, they go out into the alley for fisticuffs, not realizing that the Ramirez brothers have got baseball bats, right?
Oh.
So the what happens is there's a stoush, and one of the blokes on the Melgoza side is injured, or I think two people were injured. And then the groom, chases one of these guys. And when the police arrive, they find the injured parties in the back alley, and they actually have to go to a yard somewhere else. And that's where they find the groom, who has been belted over the head. And very sadly, it dies when he gets to hospital. He's not dead immediately, but he passes away.
That's
Yeah.
terrible.
So I've completely jumped like the whole article, but that's what happened, because the way it's reported, it was actually quite hard to work out what actually happened. So I had to read a few other articles. So in a follow-up article from ABC7.com, two brothers who murdered a newlywed groom at his reception in Chino were sentenced on Friday, April 2023, to a minimum of at least 18 years behind bars. Ronnie and Jose Castaneda were found guilty last month in the brutal Sorry. There's something wrong with this reporting. Ronnie and Jose
Not the Ramirez
Castaneda
brothers.
Ramirez were found guilty last month in the brutal beating of Joe Melgoza on the 15th of December 2019, just hours after he'd gotten married. The
That's
sentencing handed down
awful.
Friday, included a minimum 3 years for assault with a deadly weapon, for injuries to the bride's mother,
Ooh.
and 15, because I told you there was a stoush, right?
Yes, you did tell us there was a stoush.
And 15 years to life for second-degree murder.
He
of the
didn't say the
groom.
stoush involved the bride's mother, though.
No, exactly.
Well,
that was
Key
not.
detail.
There was. I didn't see her stoushing.
No,
Well,
Your Honour.
The
She's not a
Bustamante family,
stousher.
they're not taking shit,
The
right?
Bustamante.
The Bustamante are going to bust a move. They're out there. The brothers have already served nearly 3 years since their arrest the day of the attack. They would be eligible for parole in 15 years, and this is 2023.
So they only got 15 years of parole. What was the
They
total?
got 18 years,
That's
but
not
they've already
enough.
served 3.
That's not enough.
No, it's pretty awful from killing a guy. I mean, it's just all unnecessary, isn't it? Just leave. When you're asked, if you're going to crash a wedding, just leave when you're
Just
asked
don't
to.
crash.
Now, this one is another crasher story, because it's remarkable how many there are. But this one's a bit funnier. You'll be thankful. And this is not, well, there is a crime committed here, but it's not reported. Okay. It's
Just
from
tell
a
the
Reddit
story.
thread. It's come from Reddit.
Oh, right. Yeah, righto.
And the Reddit thread is called Wedding Shaming.
That's
And
a
this
brave
story-
move, doing a Reddit thread.
Well, it's a good story. And I don't know how to say this, but this story comes from a person whose handle is P-Dentropy, whatever that means.
Jeepers.
The heading is, "My wedding was crashed in 2005. I've never written the story down."
Oh.
This was 2005. The movie came out and crashing weddings was a thing. It
Oh.
still is, apparently. Although I love the movie, I hadn't seen it, I'm guessing, at the time.
Mm-hmm.
A few weeks before our wedding, I met a classical pianist named Roberto. We used to run/exercise together, and he was full of interesting stories. He was a world traveller.
He was a
in town.
bullshit artist, was he?
No.
No, oh.
Roberto is not the problem here.
Okay.
He was in town for one season of our orchestra. We met him for a dinner at his apartment, I'd say a week before the wedding. When we arrived, Roberto introduced us to his girlfriend Claudia, who was extremely attractive and from Bulgaria. She didn't speak much English at all. She came here to model, and it was obvious she looked the part. Very smart as well. We had a great dinner, and we invited them to our wedding. Nothing out of the ordinary. I had a few more runs with Roberto before the wedding, and I realized he had never been to an American wedding, and he had no idea about our traditions. He asked me about the schedule and what sort of gift he should bring. And I told him about our registry, which is basically accounted for by this time. I told him many people who don't go to the registry just give cash or another gift of their choosing. I told him no gift was necessary. It was very last minute. Fast forward to our wedding. Roberto and his girlfriend didn't come to the service. No problem. Once we got to the venue, no Roberto. It's a big day with a lot going on, but we were both wondering what happened to them. Once the food was served, I saw Roberto and his girlfriend come through the centre doors facing our table. His girlfriend was carrying a large present wrapped in white paper. We had very few gifts on the table, if any. The large white present stood out, and Roberto unknowingly made quite an entrance with his girlfriend, which immediately triggered my drunk friends to swarm on the model with the older boyfriend. She was very classy, and my saner friends ran interference with the drunks. I remember seeing Claudia and Roberto in the background getting swarmed while we went through the classic wedding songs because of her hotness. After the reception, we were packing up the gift table/card box, and Roberto's gift was nowhere to be found. We went to our hotel and we were leaving for the honeymoon in the morning. We went through the cards shortly thereafter. One read, "Thank you for the wonderful time. We crashed your wedding and helped ourselves to a gift." We knew it was Roberto's gift that was stolen. We weren't calling the cops for this and chalked it up to a good story. When we wrote our thank you cards and came to Roberto and Claudia, we gave the "great meeting you, look forward to seeing you soon, and thank you so much for the gift" kind of response. That didn't cut it for Roberto. During our run, he was asking specifics about their gift. Did we take it on our honeymoon? Did we like it? We could return it, etc. I quickly fessed up and told him the story, what a wedding crasher was, and asked him what he brought us in that big white present. And because my Spanish is no good, I'm going to butcher this next bit, but it says, he said, "Juguete sexuale." Huh? She said, "I speak Spanish, but I don't know this phrase." Apparently, they bought a Costco-sized box of sex toys for them.
And that's the one that got stolen. Love it.
And before it comes to mind, no, I don't believe they wanted to swing. We hung out a lot then, and it was never a thing. Roberto said that they thought it would be a nice surprise for our honeymoon. This felt more cultural. I love that. I love this. It was just cultural, you know. They were foreigners. They were European, you know. She's Bulgarian, he's European. So in some we were crashed, and somewhere someone is telling this story in reverse about how they crashed a wedding and how they stole the most freakish wedding gift ever imagined.
Oh, that's good.
So my last one, and I can't remember where I got it from because I think I just deleted that.
Well done. Sorry to the author.
I'll just undo and see if it comes up. Nope. It's by Maya Yang, if that helps, and it's from some news syndicate.
That'll do.
That'll narrow it down. Yep.
Really good, wasn't it? It'll be, you know, something.
As a teacher, I think you might have got a little cross against that for your bibliography.
Oh, my referencing's shocking, isn't it? Oh, that's CNN. Sorry. Okay, so this one's from CNN. Florida bride and caterer charged after serving marijuana-laced food at wedding.
Oh,
Brilliant.
Well, not so much.
giggle.
Police arrived
I'm
at the
liking it
venue.
so far.
Police arrived at the venue to find wedding guests being treated for symptoms consistent with that of someone who has used illegal drugs. A Florida bride and her wedding caterer have been criminally charged after serving food laced with marijuana to their wedding guests, sickening them and sending several to hospital. Dania Shea Svoboda, 42, and Jocelyn Montreniche Bryant, 31, who catered her wedding, face charges of violating Florida's anti-tampering laws, delivery of marijuana, and culpable negligence. On the 19th of February, Seminole County deputies arrived at a community clubhouse. Doesn't sound very salubrious, does it? Where fire rescue personnel were treating multiple wedding guests for symptoms consistent with that of someone who's used illegal drugs. Upon asking the bride and groom whether they had consented to or requested any of the food to contain cannabis products, the groom, Andrew Svoboda, stared at the deputy with a blank expression for a few moments before stuttering through a "no," said their arrest warrant affidavit. Authorities tried to locate the manager of the catering service but found all of the catering staff leaving the premises. They collected used glassware and utensils as well as food including lasagna, chocolate-covered strawberries, and pudding shots. Wedding guests who were treated for symptoms reportedly said they felt high, ill, and stoned. One guest who ate the Caesar salad, tortellini, and bread with an olive oil and herb dip said he felt tingly. His heart started to race and was having crazy thoughts, adding that he had used marijuana years ago, but this experience felt very different to him. Another guest who ate the salad, dip, and 3 meatballs said he felt weird, tingly, fidgety, and had extremely dry mouth.
It's
Did
very
any of them
specific.
get the munchies?
Not after salad and 3 meatballs.
Oh, bloated.
One guest began vomiting, and another grew paranoid that her son-in-law had died and her family had not told her. Classic marijuana. One of the guests claimed to have seen the caterer reach into a punch bowl and remove a green substance, saying she could detect
Mint?
a strong odor of marijuana.
Uh-uh.
So according to the affidavit, she asked the caterer if there was marijuana in the food. The caterer giggled and shook her head yes. I think you mean nodded. She said the guest asked if this was for real, and the caterer said, yeah. Several guests went to hospital where the THC was found in their blood. Food samples collected at the wedding also contained THC. According to the affidavit, Svoboda agreed to and allowed Jocelyn Montreniche Bryant to lace the food she served with cannabis unbeknownst to the attendees, many of whom became ill, very ill, and required medical attention. I don't know why. I think it's the biggest question on all of our minds in speaking with some of the family members. One guest told WESH2, we want an explanation.
I could
It's
imagine
certainly
your
on my
mum
mind.
would crack it.
And that is my collection of a wedding.
But why did
crimes.
she do it?
I think she just thought it was funny.
Idiots.
Oh,
Imagine there's
gosh.
you know how people get funny about weddings, and mothers particularly get sort of fraught with who's invited from the family, what are they going to wear. Imagine having your mum, or I'm assuming your mum goes to all that effort and everything happens, and then you organise everyone to be
and people are
stoned.
vomiting.
Yeah. Oh, if my children did that, I would be very unhappy.
You'd be
Yes,
gropable.
You
yes,
little
yes.
dickheads. Yes,
Yeah, yes, you would be gropable.
absolutely.
That's my wedding crimes. I suppose I should add to it. Another crime around weddings is when you agree to help people at a wedding and then on the day of the wedding or the day before you tell them that you're not going to arrive.
This feels kind of current.
Yeah. So
And personal.
Yes.
I didn't do that. But
Pointed.
when I arrived on
I figured
Saturday,
you didn't. Yes.
when I arrived on Saturday, I might have even no, I think it was Saturday. I heard that I walked in and they were like, "Oh, these people who are going to help aren't helping," because allegedly, the story goes, someone was miffed that they weren't invited to the wedding, and so these other people are connected to them, and so they pulled out of their help. So anyway, it was all right because most people are pretty self-sufficient.
Yeah.
But don't worry, the event manager of extraordinaire,
Schmidty.
was there pouring the champagne and telling the caterer where to set the food up and sorting it all out. It was all good.
Save
But
the
yes,
day.
that is a crime. That is a crime and should be punishable by
You have many talents, Schmidty.
bamboo
by
pokers up your fingernails.
Bamboogie.
So there you go. Any thoughts on sentencing the crasher? There are many.
I thought the first one should end up with.
Well, she died, so she
Oh,
probably got her comeuppance.
Well, just for the little bit of time she had left, I think she could get a tiara that said "Don't trust me" and a sash that says "I steal shit," so that wherever she goes, everyone knows they can't trust her because she's going to steal shit. So
Yeah, no, that's good. Or
Yeah.
just a tattoo on her forehead would have done that. Like she was doing
Yeah.
that for years.
or a dose of what got her kidney.
That must happen. And I'm not even just talking about weddings or people that are that well orchestrated in terms of, finding out where weddings are, but just opportunistic staff and people, when people are pissed, must be fertile territory for just, taking a little bit of money, a card here, that, because, bags hanging over the back of chairs, everyone's hammered, thick coats.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but when we got married, Tony and I went through all the cards and everything, I checked against the entire wedding list as to who had given
To see
appropriate
who hadn't
presents.
given anything.
To get your
And I
love
marked down
in the
what they
future.
gave us.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
She's still
So
talking to a Swanee. Oof.
Oh, you guys were fine.
What did we get you
Righto.
towards a bath?
Someone
or
in
something,
my
wasn't it?
past who I thought was a bit of a tight ass. Anyway, yes,
Oh.
Spa?
the bath. So the
bath.
bath in our bathroom, I replaced it,
Yes.
and I replaced it thanks to the proceeds of the
Yes,
wedding.
that's right.
And I did all the work myself, so the rest of the money went into our double glazing, which was hefty old whack of cash. So I very much appreciate the fact that today, perfect example, cold outside, open all the blinds up, right? Let the sun in because of the double glazing. The house warms up beautifully. It was 24 degrees upstairs when I came down here to record. It's so good. We don't have to put heating on. Love it. So thank you very much to our wedding guests who were so generous.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
and to the one who wasn't.
Fuck you.
Yay.
Anyway,
that's funny.
Anything else, or should we just PSA?
Who were those brothers?
The Ramirez brothers.
Yeah, those ones. They didn't get long enough.
Oh, I mean,
they didn't get long
brutally
enough.
murdered a man. Yeah, you're right.
That felt like it was
minimum for 25 years at least before parole, I reckon.
Oh, at his wedding, though, like completely,
unnecessary.
Just don't.
Just leave.
Just don't go.
Something doesn't add up there.
It does seem odd, but I looked around. There wasn't a lot on it. You know, when you get one of these articles, which is just like a thing happened, and then
a headline,
nothing more. Yep.
And then the body copy is a repeat of the headline. Yep, totally.
All the time.
Yep. All the time. Wasting my time.
Exactly.
But
right.
They could do a lot more time, I reckon, or they could go to sort of. If you think about like the most painful wedding reception you've ever been to, and maybe we sentence them to a trial by wine horror wedding world where they are just stuck in there. They don't have baseball bats and they're just stuck there and they have to listen to St. Paul's letter to the Corinthians over and over and over.
Maybe the wedding could be in the Thunderdome where two men enter, one man leave, and it's the two brothers with a baseball bat each.
What brothers?
Yeah.
Well said. I nearly fell for that then. I was like, the bloody Ramirez brothers.
Ramirez brothers, yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they can do that. All right, good one. All right, well, thanks for listening to that
Wedding crashes
compilation of crashes. And on that note, as we say every week, miss you already.
Ciao.
Thanks for listening to Trial by Wine. You can contact us at trialbywine@gmail.com. Please rate, review and subscribe to Trial by Wine on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. If you'd like to support us, you can become a patron at www.patreon.com, Trial by Wine, or visit our website www.trialbywine.com to donate to us. Your support will help us cover many more cases and apply wacky sentences. We really appreciate you listening and hope you tell everyone about us. Our cover art is by John Christo and music is by Beauchamp from pixabay.com.